Good evening to all. The aspirants of Group 1 examination, aspirants of Group 2 examination, Group 3 and Group 4. As you are all aware that there is one subject which is introduced in Telangana Public Service Commission exam recently after formation of Telangana, that is called Sociology, pertaining to Telangana society, Telangana structure, social structure, and also Telangana social issues and Telangana social policies and welfare programs. Yesterday, we have tried to discuss the subjects or syllabus with regard to sociology. As a continuation, I would like to introduce the subject of sociology, particularly for Group 1 examination as well as Group 2 examination and Group 4 examination. Examination must be anything, however, there are topics from the sociology. When you take Group 1 exam, the paper 3, 50 marks completely dedicated to Telangana society, social structure and social policies and also social issues. Similarly, in Group 2 exam, there are 50 marks in paper 2 as well as 10 to 12 marks in paper 1 in general studies paper. So, it is essential and important to all the students to understand this sociology subject very deeper and very widely. In this context, I am Dr. Srinivas, who studied sociology, who worked on social policies, would like to bring some of the important concepts pertaining to sociology with regard to Telangana state context. It is very, very important to understand the material from our state context. Today, we are going to discuss some of the things which are related to social exclusion. Social exclusion is one of the topic in the sociology subject in all group exams. What does it mean? Let us try to understand what is meant by exclusion. The term had come or evolved from 1970s. Mostly it came from, the word came from France. In the year 1970, the word came from France. For the first time, René Lenoir is a person who worked with French government. He introduced in his book called Social Exclusion. You may be getting a question in your Group 2 examination that who is the first person used social exclusion? He is René Lenoir. He used to work in French government. So, for the first time, he authored a book called Social Exclusion. This is called Social Exclusion. Now, let us understand what is meant by exclusion. In real terms, exclusion means deprivation, marginalization, isolation, keeping some groups away from the mainstream of the society. When there is in a society, different religions are there, different castes are there, different communities are there, different genders are there. However, there are certain group of people are isolated or marginalized, deprived to certain resources, certain access to resources. Who are those people? Let us try to understand from this given slide, as we discuss social exclusion, what is meant by social exclusion? Social exclusion means in any given society, there are certain group of people, certain group of society, caste, community, classes are deprived. So, in generally, in India particularly, we can see in social inclusion, we study scheduled caste. If you look at 2011 census, we have around 16.6% people in India belongs to, scheduled caste. Similarly, and there are 8.6 people belongs to scheduled tribes. When you see this scheduled caste people, scheduled tribe people, they are deprived of certain resources. They did not have access like, housing, health, education, livelihood. They do not have access to certain minimum things. So they were excluded. It means they were not part of the mainstream of the society. Because of that, what? Because of their caste. Because of their caste, they are not participating in the decision making of the entire society. In a democracy-like country, we say that according to Article 14, 15, 16, 17, we say that right to equality is there. However, in reality, there are certain people, certain castes are deprived because of their community, because of gender, because of their disability. I will bring some more things to your notice, how these, how social inclusion takes place. Social exclusion takes place because of, because of caste, because of religion, when religion is minor, because of disability, because of gender, because of age. Because of age means again old age or children. Old age or children. Because of, because of geographical. From this slide, we need to understand there is a social exclusion. The social exclusion takes place because of caste. Here you see there are scheduled castes, there are scheduled tribes. They are not allowed into the mainstream of the society. They were not allowed to the festivals. They were not allowed to the, decision making. And again, other backward classes, because of the reason they belongs to other backward classes, they are also excluded from the mainstream of the society. Then minorities, by religion wise, by language wise, there are certain minorities are there. In an Indian constitution, we discuss about Article 29 and Article 30, we discuss about the minorities in this country. By religion wise, by language wise, if there are certain minorities are there, certain priorities need to be given. But however, they are socially excluded. Means they are not part of the, mainstream. Again, you see women. If you see, because of women, they are not equally taking part in terms of decision making, in terms of implementation of program, or in terms of health access, in terms of education access, in terms of livelihood access. You might have seen at primary level, the school children, if you see, boys and girls are equal in the class. The same boys and girls, when they go to intermediate education, the dropout of girls is very high. And when you go for degree education, the drop-off of the girls is higher than boys. Even if you see the university education, so what is happened? Means it is nothing but the women and girls are socially excluded at some point of time. And you see the children, particularly children also, they were not taken into the consideration of decision making, or also they were not taken into any kind of implementation process. So they were also excluded. And if you see in the last 50-60 years, we have been developing so many programs with regard to children. But unfortunately, we have forgotten programs for the old age people. They were also excluded from the society. And disabled people, they were also excluded. What is meant by exclusion is, there are certain category of people in our communities, in our societies, but they were not taken into consideration in terms of decision making. They were lack of resources. It must be, food, education, health, livelihoods, and because of they are excluded, they are not having a quality of life. Quality of life is not there. Hence, the government need to take necessary steps to include. That is called, the contrast is called social inclusion. This is social exclusion. This opposite, completely opposite to is that social inclusion. Inclusion means now the government has to make necessary policies to increase the participation of SCs and STs and also women and also children and old age people, to make sure that they are all on par with other people of the society. For that, we need to empower. You might have seen a lot of programs with regard to girl child education. The government is coming forward, is providing bicycles to them. The government is cutting short their fees, and the government is providing necessary girls hostels. The government is also providing for BC, for SC and ST. If you look at your article 45 and 46, for article 45 regarding to your children education below to the 6 years, they are maintaining an Anganwadi. But whereas article 46 talk about education and economic, to improve the education and economic conditions of particularly SCs and STs. In that context, the government is providing different hostel facilities for the girls. What is here means to enhance the gender equality. The gender equality to make sure. Why we are making that such policies? Because a developing country, as of now, India is a developing country. To tell the world we are also giving enough importance to gender, we need to have gender friendly policies. For that, social inclusion is also one of the factors to make policies with regard to all these groups. To address the caste system, we need to make enough policies for the scheduled caste, to whether it is education, whether it is economic benefits. We need to make necessary policies for the economic and educational empowerment of weaker sections, for backward classes, minorities, children and aged and disabled. The government has to make necessary policies to enhance their capacities. Dear friends, it has been observed in Telangana state, there is less material with regard to social structure, social issues, social policies and social exclusion in the context of Telangana. Here I can tell that from our side, from the point of scheduled caste, what was the scheme recently taken up to make sure that social inclusion? For example, last year the government of Telangana had come up with Dalita Bandhu program. What does it mean? Dalita Bandhu program is to make sure of social inclusion. It is found that there are scheduled caste people, they were living far away from the mainstream society because of their economic conditions. So the government tried to bring or empower them with some sort of financial assistance. So in this context, all the Telangana students who are appearing for the group 1, group 2, group 4 examinations, they need to understand the contemporary issues as well as the typical social structure of the Telangana society. Then only you would be able to understand how you can learn better as well as answer the questions which are asked. So, as there is a social exclusion, there are certain communities, there are certain weaker sections or deprived. Basically, these sections live in poverty. Poverty is one of the salient features of this socially excluded people. The second one is poor health conditions. The third one is, you won't find any kind of livelihood options for these socially excluded communities. Who generally have this social exclusion? There are certain minorities. In a given society, if the minorities are there, those voices are not heard by the government till the time they are supposed to deprive of their rights. They are deprived of their, deprived of housing, health, livelihood and educational facilities. So, what I am trying to tell is that in this particular subject, in regular classes, whether it is online and offline, we are going to discuss. For example, if you take scheduled class, in article, article 17, it is clearly mentioned that untouchability is crime. Accordingly, Untouchability Offences Act 1956 came into force. Later on, you have Civil Rights Protection Act. Later on, you have SC Atrocities Act. Later on, in addition to that, Article 14, Article 15, Article 16 also helping those SCs, STs, other backward classes communities to live on par with other people. However, it is not happening. So, in regular classes, we are going to deal everything, combining the society, combining the polity, so that you would be able to write descriptive answers for your group 1 examination as well as, bit answers for all the, group 2 questions. So, it is important to read each and everything with regard to society, particularly in the context of Telangana society. In a similar manner, you are going to read all these things in our regular classes. Okay, as I mentioned, Mr. Rainy Lenoir was the first person who named out, who came with the word this social exclusion. Now, I will take you to another concept. Samajika samasyalu means social issues, social problems. Really, Telangana as a new state is facing any problem? Is there, as in India at large, are we facing any problem? Damn sure, we are facing social problems. What are those problems are meant? Let us try and to understand. Still in India, people living in poverty because lack of work, lack of livelihood options. How to measure it? There are so many people who are living below poverty line. They do not have 2 times meal in a day. So India is having this poverty problem. We will discuss in detail about the definition of the poverty, how UNDP is discussing about the poverty, how World Bank has given a definition with regard to poverty, whether it is at a union level or at state level. How many people are living under poverty line? What are the basic characteristics of poverty is there in India as well as in Telangana? Being a student of Telangana, being a aspirant of civil servant, if you understand well about the poverty, so that you are going to work against poverty in the future as a Tahsildar, as an RDO or any officer, because if you don't understand what is poverty means, what kind of poverty is there, whether poverty is at rural level, urban level, rural level, a tribal society. So we all discuss about this poverty in, it is a big chapter altogether, and you learn all the definitions given by UNDP, WHO, World Bank, as well as the Union Labour Ministry, so that you will be getting a very comprehensive knowledge with regard to poverty. In addition to that, what are the government schemes? For example, one of the major schemes across the country is National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, where the government is expected to provide 100 days work at rural level. In that work, a job card is given, and the people are expected to construct the school buildings, construct the, lay the tanks and work in roads. However, to address the poverty, this National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme came, that was the act was also enacted in the year 2005, and it is implemented across the country. So this is one of the program. And if you look at the poverty elevation programs, in particularly Telangana is concerned, Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty, that is called SERP. Earlier it was IKP, Indira Krantipadam, but now it is Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty. There are certain indicators are there, these people working to eliminate poverty. So my dear student, it is important, particularly for group 1 students, you need to know about this SERP program. What are the important programs being taken up by Government of Telangana to address the poverty in Telangana state? Mention few. That must be your descriptive question, so that you would be able to answer. As it is one of the social problem in Telangana state, you are supposed to answer that particular question. Otherwise, another important is, unemployment. As you know, many graduates, if you see recent example, many of you know that, out of 503 positions for group 1 exam, around 5,31,000 applications had come. Out of that, 2,80,000 people appeared for the examination. Imagine, maybe the same number might be there outside who has not written. The kind of unemployment is there in our state, as well as similarly, at a national level, you can also see the same kind of unemployment problem. However, when you see unemployment, immediately you need to see the data of ILO, International Labour Organization. According to International Labour Organization, what is the percentage of unemployment who completed the PhD program, who completed post-graduation, who completed their graduation, similarly, intermediate and 10th class. If you see the data, you get shocked. So that kind of data we will be teaching in your classes. So it is important to understand what is meant by unemployment, what is meant by underemployment, and what are the characteristics of unemployment, and how this unemployment leads to many other social issues we will be discussing in this topic. And child labor. According to Article 24, prohibition of child labor in hazardous industries. In Indian Constitution, you see in Part 3, Fundamental Rights, Article 24 tells that, prohibition of children in hazardous industries. We are not supposed to recruit, we are not supposed to employ children into any kind of industries below 14 years. However, in reality, you must be observing, because to get a bread and butter to their family members, you might be observed in bus stand, you might be observed in railway stations. Many of the children are till today in child labor. However, we need to, how this child labor issue is so vibrant. What kind of programs have been taken? Even one of the fundamental duty, according to the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act in the year 2002, the parent or guardian of the child is supposed to provide enough education till the age of 14 years. It is mentioned in fundamental rights. At the same time, it is also mentioned according to 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in your fundamental duties. So, however, in reality, in practicality, till today, whether it is a state or whether it is a government of India, we have been observing so many child labor are there. So what are the schemes are there to reduce that? For example, for that matter, the government came up with midday meal program to encourage the students into education system. Later on, the government is giving so many scholarships. Later on, the government is giving lot of benefits for the students. However, we need to study in detail to address this child labor program. What are the schemes have been taken up at Government of India level as well as Government of State Government level. And the next point is violence against women. Imagine, as we live in a society where men and women equal. However, violence against women, whether it is a sexual violence, whether it is a physical violence, whether it is abusiveness, harassment, it starts from at home. It starts from home. However, we need to study in detail what are the types of violence are there. What are the violence at workplace. Generally, the violence will be taken at home. The violence will be taken, you must be observing lot of harassment, teasing will be taking place at schools, colleges by boys. However, we need to understand what exactly violence means and what are the steps have been taken. For example, for that matter, the government of Telangana to address violence against women or gender issues, they have brought a couple of things like she teams. They have provided she teams. If any girl, if any woman is being harassed, she can call immediately to the she teams. The she teams provide necessary support to the girls. And they have also, the police of Telangana state, they have made a couple of interesting apps. If the app is downloaded by that particular women and girls, they can immediately call those people and they can save themselves. In addition, you must be observing in Hyderabad, in the local buses, there is a partition between, earlier there was no partition. Now it is found that many girls, many women is being harassed. So now they have separated where women and girls can sit comfortably in the front side, whereas the boys or men can sit. These are some of the schemes brought to address violence. However, scientifically, we have Domestic Violence Act, Immoral Trafficking Prevention Act. So many legal framework is also available to address the violence against women. So, in our regular offline classes and online classes, the Telangana students in this particular 5-mantra career point, you are going to read or study the Telangana society, Telangana policies, Telangana social problems in a scientific way where you can understand. As of now, I have given spontaneously a couple of examples, whereas it will be given more scientifically to you so that you would understand, the programs of, any other policies and programs. And in addition, there are so many, right, regionalism in India, particularly every region, whether it is north or south, everyone want, for example, their own identity, their own race identity. Till today, if you go see some of the northeastern parts, till today, they don't want to be part of India because of the reason they wanted to have a separate, entity. So that is called even Bodo land, Gorkha land, Vidarbha. We, particularly Telangana people also, we fought for our own identity. We want to respect, protect our own identity. That is the reason you might have observed that, in 1969 we had a great movement, and recently from 2001 to 2014 we had another second phase of movement, that is nothing but, regionalism. However, we are going to learn within the Telangana state how regionalism is there. How in India, what is meant by regionalism? What are the different characteristics of regionalism? Why people of the particular sector look forward for their own identity or for their own respect or for their protection of their own rights? We will see in this. And communalism. As India is a communal secular state, and secular state, and in the eyes of the state, whether it is a communalism or secularism, everyone is an equal. It is not, the state can respect or state can devote for only particular religion. But here we will also read in detail what is meant by religion. What are the characteristics of religion? What are the types of religion in India? Hinduism is there, Christianity is there, Islamic is there, Buddhism is there, Jainism is there. How we are living together, what kind of harmony is helping us to live together, and these are the things we are going to discuss in communalism. But whatever the bullet point mentioned over here, it is again broken into different lessons. Those lessons will be imparted to you in a systematic scientific way with questions and answers, so that the children would be able to easily understand, from Telangana context. I am very aware that you all children who studied in Telangana, you have come across all these things. You have seen different religion, you have seen different castes, you have different social groups, primary groups, but you do not know how to study scientifically. You do not know how the questions are asked and how to respond to those questions. So, my dear friends, it is important to learn sociology from the point of scientific inquiry, scientific interrogation, scientific investigation, so that you can learn and also you can apply your brain to answer the questions in group 1, group 2 as well as group 4. And one of the important and major problem as of now the government institutions are facing is corruption, whether it is lower level, whether it is higher level. There are certain, if you see, the CBI is there, the ACB is there, and other agencies are there, Central Vigilance Commission is there. Still the country is facing with, corruption, illegally taking money from either the people, from the government. That is called corruption. So what has happened? There are certain measures are there in place. However, if you see any daily newspaper, you will find that, there are so many corruption incidents are taking place. But however, we will understand in sociology what are the major reasons leading for corruption, how to address the corruption, what are the institutions are there or put in place to address the corruption. Those things we learn from this chapter. Now I am going to introduce very important thing. 5 Mantra Career Point is conducting regular exams, very authentic, very strict and very important questions with a lot of exploration, with a lot of research for group 1 exam, group 2 exam and group 4 exam. You can check anywhere in Hyderabad, whether it is Amirpet, whether it is Ashok Nagar or whether it is Dilshuk Nagar, where more number of institutes are there. There you can find the test series, the eminent competent authorities, the people are making your test series. This test series 4 and the paper topic 4, which is regard to Telangana movement and state formation. We had a long struggle of Telangana movement to achieve this Telangana dream, finally achieved in the year 2014. To achieve that Telangana, a series of activities, a series of struggle, a series of movement, so many deaths happened with regard to Telangana movement. And finally, the dreams of these Telangana people were realized in the year 2014. However, you need to, being a citizen of Telangana, you are supposed to understand how the Telangana movement took place. Who are the key players in Telangana movement? What were the important incidents took place in the Telangana movement? Finally, how the state was formed. For this, the eminent personality is DR.RIYAZ. He himself participated in that Telangana movement. He went to jail many number of times. Finally, he also have written a book on Telangana history, culture and movement. So, as a person having a deeper knowledge with regard to Telangana movement and also state formation, he has been helping the student continuously for the last 4 months conducting this test series. So tomorrow, particularly December 11th morning, you have this Telangana movement and state formation examination. Please register now. The phone number is 707-501-9931. This is completely based on the syllabus of the Telangana Public Service Commission given for your competitive exam. So tomorrow 10 o'clock, morning 10 o'clock, the exam will be conducted on Telangana movement and as well as state formation. So the students who are really interested to understand how the questions are framed, how the questions are asked, how you need to answer analytically, those students only, the serious student only, please come. Just for time's sake, don't come. Please don't come. The serious students who wanted to prove themselves, who wanted to tell the world that they are very good, they can attempt all the questions in Telangana movement and say they are supposed to come. And I also request, please call this number 707-501-9931 and register yourself, because there is no institute is conducting a test series with very, very eminent or important, highly researched questions. So 5 Mantra Career Point is conducting tomorrow 10 o'clock. I request all the students, please join, and also you download 5 Mantra Career Point app, so that you get to know many important things. What as a student, what you have to do. So what you have to prepare. We have been uploading lot of information as so many notifications are coming. Yesterday evening there was a JL notification, junior lecturer notification. For that, there are so many general knowledge videos have been already uploaded into our app. So when you download the app of 5 Mantra Career Point, you would be able to see lot of digital information on the app. That material would be helpful for you to prepare. Now, again, in the last point I wanted to make from this video is, now the world has become global village. The world has become global village. You can sit any corner of this country or world and you can easily listen these videos, you can watch these videos and you can understand those videos, and you can read or study the relevant material and you can attempt the exams. That is very important. Now, if you have eminent institute, good resource persons and relevant material, you can crack your exam. You can save your time, you can save your money. So, my dear friends, particularly who are appearing for Group 1 and Group 2 and Group 4, please download this app, and at the same time, you can also appear tomorrow exam, and also please attend 5 Mantra Career Point regular classes daily. We are trying our level best to disseminate information, particularly for Group 1 people and Group 2 people and Group 2 people. Myself, Dr. Srinivas, is teaching polity, governance, public policy and society, social structure as well as social policies and social issues of Telangana state, with more concentration of Telangana state. So please try to attend offline classes and online classes and prove yourself as a as a job, by achieving a job, complete your dreams, at the same time realize your dreams of your parents and your family members. Thank you so much and wish you all good luck. We would like to see you tomorrow in our test series exam. At the same time, we are going to conduct tomorrow evening at 3 o'clock, we are going to conduct a demo for Group 4 examinations, and 4 o'clock a demo for JLs. Any aspirant, because the topics which we have been discussing here is relevant to all. If you look at 150 marks, general studies is, general studies in any competitive exam, it is there. There you have sociology, there you have polity, there you have governance, there you have Telangana history, so culture. So what we wanted to do is that as much as possible, we wanted to disseminate by using the technology of video and YouTube. So my dear friends, don't forget tomorrow 10 o'clock morning exam, and at the same time 3 o'clock demo for Group 4, 4 o'clock demo for JLs at 4 o'clock, and next day evening, Monday evening at 5 o'clock, we are going to have class for Group 2 and Group 4 people, orientation class for Group 4 and Group 2 people. Thank you so much and wish you all good luck.